Okay, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are. Welcome to this webinar presentation presented by the Indonesian Investment Promotion Centre, or IIPC in Sydney, the Government of East Java Province, and the Australia-Indonesia Business Centre. Now, today we come together to explore new opportunities in the East Java Province against the backdrop of our brand new Indonesia-Australia Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, or better known and easier to be known as IA-CEPA. I am Emil Setiawan. I'm one of the committee member of the Australia-Indonesia Business Council in Victoria, and I am honored to welcome you all on behalf of the Indonesian Embassy in Canberra, the Consulate General in Melbourne, Sydney, and Perth, the Consulate in Darwin, and the Indonesia Investment Promotion Centre in Sydney. I would like to particularly acknowledge the participation of His Excellency Ambassador Kristiarto Legowo, Consul General Ibu Spika in Melbourne, and Pak Heru in Sydney, Ibu Dewi in Perth, and Consul Pak Gulfan in Darwin, and also IIPC Director Pak Henry Rombe in Sydney. Now, before commencing, this webinar, as well as the other future webinars, is an indicator of a strong intent from both countries to see through the successful implementation of IA-CEPA together with the supporting organizations such as IIPC and IIPC. And as an Indonesian-born Australian who has spent most of my life in Australia, a stronger relationship between Australia and East Java is not only economical, but also personal. Now, East Java has been the #1 investment destination for the domestic investor in the first half of 2020, with over 38 trillion Indonesian rupiah investment realization, or just over 3.5 billion Australian dollars, which is around 18.6% out of the total domestic investment. It also ranks 4th of the foreign investment realization destination in Indonesia. And today we will hear from the leaders of 4 exciting companies based in East Java working on various projects in collaboration with the government. Now, throughout today's event, the Q&A feature in Zoom at the bottom of your screen will be active, and we will be drawing questions from those and some that have been submitted in advance for our speakers after their presentation. Now, this is very important. Please pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Some of the presentation today will be delivered in Indonesian. Now, if you don't speak Indonesian, there's no need to panic. We have enabled the interpretation feature in this webinar. Now, if you hover up at the bottom of your screen, you will see a button called Interpretation. And there are 2 things that you can do with the button. First is you can choose your preferred language, which is in this case is English. And second, you can mute the original audio to allow you to hear only the translator audio. Now, I need to point out that this is not an automatic translation. Essentially what happened is we have a real person behind the webinar to be translating live as the speaker speak. So please keep that in mind in case you're experiencing connection problem. Now, we will be breaking this event into 2 sessions of 4 presentations, with the first 2 presentations to be followed by a Q&A. Then the final 2 presentations will be followed by a further Q&A. Now, please remember to lodge your question at any time during this event using the Q&A panel. So, to get things underway, it now gives me a great pleasure to introduce the Indonesia's ambassador to Australia and Vanuatu, His Excellency Kristiarto Legowo, to make his opening remark. Pak Kris, over to you.
Terima kasih Pak Emil Setiawan. Yang saya hormati Bapak Muhammad Rudiansyah, Managing Director of PT Jatim Grha Utama Business Association, Pak Agung Wibowo, dari sebagai Director PT Kasa Husada, Mr. David Mix, the CEO of Sustainable Management Group, Pak David Santoso, President Director of PT Intelegensia Grahatama, and I would like to acknowledge also the presence of my colleague from the IIPC, Pak Henry Rombe, and my colleague also from all the Consulate General that we have here in all over Australia. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Pak Emil Setiawan, for the opening remark introducing the event that we are going to have today. Good morning to my colleague in Jawa Timur, and also good afternoon to my friends here in Australia. First of all, I would like to thank you so much, all of you, for joining us into this webinar series entitled Maximizing IA-CEPA, New Opportunities in Tourism, Infrastructure, Manufacturing Industry, and also in agribusinesses. So, and if this is your first time joining our first webinar, I would like to welcome you all. But if you had attended our previous webinar focusing on tourism investment opportunities that we held on the 27th of August 2020, I would like to welcome you back in this event. As we all know, 5th of July 2020 has been mentioned also by Pak Emil has marked the entry into force of the Indonesia-Australia Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement that has opened up a new era for a more comprehensive and greater economic cooperation between Indonesia and Australia. A month before that, we had convened the virtual Indonesia-Australia Business Summit on Indonesia-Australia Comprehensive Economic Partnership amidst COVID-19. That was on the 4th of June 2020. And as a follow-up, we decided to convene this webinar series in order to capitalize upon this momentum, to encourage and to support the full implementation of the IA-CEPA. And today's webinar is the second installment to a series of webinars to discuss concrete investment opportunities available in Indonesia. The series is held fortnightly with a different focus sector in each sessions. And through this webinar series, we will later hear directly from the related businesses themselves about the opportunities available for investment in each highlighted sector in Indonesia. And in today's session, we'll be looking into opportunities that are open in one of Indonesia's thriving provinces, namely East Java. Pak Setiawan has mentioned also in his remark about the potential that the province of East Java could offer. Well, I'm sure that the speakers will later talk in length about the potential that the province offers. Allow me to address some of East Java connections to Australia in particular. Firstly, East Java has had a long-standing and flourishing relationship with Australia. On the federal level, the Australian Consulate in Surabaya has been established as the 4th Australian diplomatic mission in Indonesia in 2017, after recognizing the city's role as the key international trading hub. And as I learned, the consulate was the largest overseas expansions Australia had done in more than 40 years. And I remember former Australian Minister for Foreign Affairs, Julie Bishop, had stated that Surabaya Consulate will assist in enhancing trade, building economic partnership, as well as supporting cultural and community links between Australia and East Java. And my good friend, Ambassador Gary Kinlan himself had visited East Java in February of this year to discuss further collaboration in vocational and maritime education. On the state and provincial level, East Java and Western Australia celebrate 30 years of sister state relationship in 2020. This relationship was first established in August 1990. Delegation from East Java provincial government had visited Perth in 2019 after the Western Australia Minister for Housing, Fisheries, Veteran Issues and Asian Engagement, Honorable Peter Chenley, visited Indonesia earlier that year. Secondly, East Java is a home to several Australian businesses. This has been mentioned also by Pak Emmanuel. Most Australian businesses with manufacturing and processing plants are located in East Java. And these are businesses that also employ a lot of workers. Companies that are based in East Java include Coca-Cola Amatil, Blue Scope Steel, Commonwealth Group, Nuplex, Caterlindo, and additionally, several services companies also have a presence in East Java, namely Ramsey Health, ANZ Bank, and also the Commonwealth Bank. Lastly, East Java also has a strong people-to-people connection with Australia. East Java houses a large student population which has drawn the University of Tasmania and Queensland University of Technology to have their representative presence in the province. And it is estimated that almost, again, I need to emphasize, almost 10% of the Indonesian students studying in various Australian universities and vocational education institutions are from East Java. Surabaya has also become a second home for many Australian Navy officers. Royal Australian Navy ships have been visiting Surabaya since 1960 as part of their continuous joint exercise with our Angkatan Laut. Building upon the aforementioned foundation that have been established, I believe that today's presentation of these 4 ongoing projects will help boost further economic cooperation between East Java and Australia. These are projects with great potential in various sectors, which are ready and available for you to seize. And on this, first you will hear from Bapak Muhammad Rudiansyah, Managing Director of PT Jatim Grha Utama, who will make a presentation on Puspa Agro Food Processing. And secondly, we will have Bapak Agung Wibowo, Director of PT Kasa Husada, who will speak on the Infusion Fluid Plant project. And third, we are going to have Mr. David Mix, the CEO of Sustainable Management Group, who will speak on behalf of PT Sura, Parama, Setia on the Ijen Blue Fire Theme Park cable car. And last but not least, we are going to have Bapak David Santoso, the President Director of PT Intelegensia Grahatama, who will provide a presentation on Singhasari Special Economic Zone. They will provide detailed insight into available investment opportunity in this ongoing project and how Australian investors can get involved. With the entry into force of IA-CEPA, as I mentioned, these opportunities become even more open and accessible to Australian investors. To conclude, allow me to extend my appreciation to our friends and colleagues who have put their time and effort into making this webinar series a reality. Our Consulate General in Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, and also our Consulate in Darwin, our colleague at the Indonesian Investment Coordinating Board and their representative in Australia, IIPC in Sydney, and of course, our good friends at IIPC who continue to assist our mission in encouraging and promoting Indonesia-Australia economic relations. I would like also to encourage you to follow the upcoming session in this webinar series, which will be held on the 24th of September 2020, during which the focus of our session will be on project from South Kalimantan. So I thank you so much. Thank you so much for your participation. But more importantly, I would like to say thank you so much for being part of the better relations between Indonesia and Australia. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pak Chris, for the opening remarks. I'd like now to invite the first speaker out of the 4th presentation, which is Mr. Muhammad Rudiansyah, who is the Managing Director of PT Jatim Grha Utama Business Association. Now, Mr. Muhammad Rudiansyah has over 25 years experiences in several leadership positions, including a 19-year spell as the Director of PT HG Pratama. He joined PT Jatim Grha Utama since 2011. He is a civil engineering graduate from 10 November Institute of Technology. He used to be a member of the Indonesian Chambers of Commerce, or Kadin, in Surabaya between 2009 to 2014, and was also appointed as the Vice Secretary of the Real Estate Indonesia Advisory Board between 2013 and 2016. Now, before I let him up, I need to inform you that this particular presentation, and the next one, as a matter of fact, will be conducted in Indonesian. Now, just to remind the audience again, you can choose to listen to the live translator by enabling the interpretation button at the bottom of your screen. Now, if listening to both audio confuses you, you can also choose to mute the original audio, which lets you to listen only to the translation version. Right, one more thing before he comes on, we're going to watch a quick video on his current projects. And if you have questions, please don't forget to ask them in the Q&A panel at the bottom of your screen. Let's have a look at this video.
According to the amount of East Java agricultural production result, East Java Provincial Government assigned to Jatim Grha Utama Limited Liability Company, regional-owned enterprises by East Java Provincial Government, to develop Puspa Agro Complex as a food logistic hub for agriculture, plantation, farm, fisheries, and other food products. It is developed over 50 hectares of land, where it's located in Jemundo Taman, Sidoarjo. It has many facilities, such as warehouse, cold storage, cellar, agricultural building, and at Puspa Agro Complex, there are also Agency for Fish Quarantine, Quality Control, and Fishery Products Safety, Surabaya 2, owned by Ministry of Marine Affairs and Fisheries, Republic of Indonesia, and East Java Banded Logistics Center. Puspa Agro is committed to develop and make some innovations supporting agricultural, plantation, fishery products through Sustainable Area Program, such as R5 ration rice cultivation. By reducing non-organic fertilizer, the result is still good. Market waste management and Puspa Biotech, Biotechnology Study and Laboratory Center in Agriculture, Fisheries, and Bioenergy, and Training for Society. With the amount of investment is about 1 billion rupiahs, Puspa Agro Complex will be integrated with processing, storage, trading, and logistics, both for export and import. Currently, access to city by huge track is about 6 kilometers. Access to airport is about 17 kilometers. And access to Tanjung Perak Harbor is about 22 kilometers. It has integrated modern logistic management based on information technology. Puspa Agro Food Logistic Hub is not only for East Java, but also for Eastern Indonesia, such Kalimantan, Bali, Nusa Tenggara, Sulawesi, and Papua.
Welcome, Pak Muhammad.
Terima kasih, Pak Emmanuel.
Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel.
Itu tadi sekilas mengenai Puspa Agro, kawasan
That's a
yang
short video from Puspa Agro.
Seluas 50 hektar.
The land area is 15 hectares.
Yang diperintahkan oleh pemerintah Provinsi Jawa Timur untuk kami kelola. Awalnya adalah sebagai
directed for the starters,
wholesale market gitu ya,
sebagai pasar induk.
Tetapi pada
as the official market,
ini, kita akan mentransformasi
we are transforming the Puspa Agro
menjadi pusat logistik,
becoming the center of
logistik pangan untuk
especially
melayani
for food to serve
Indonesia Timur,
Eastern Indonesia,
karena kami adalah salah satu kontributor
because
utama
we are
untuk
the first contributor
produk-produk pertanian di Indonesia.
For farming product in Indonesia.
Jadi Jawa Timur mensuplai kira lebih 40% dari produk
more than 40%
pertanian Indonesia.
Farming product.
Jadi untuk itu next mungkin ya slide-nya, the next slide.
So please. We would like to continue the slide.
Jadi Puspa Agro akan mentransformasi diri menjadi Jatim
Puspa Agro
Hub,
will transform, becoming Jatim Hub,
di mana di dalamnya nanti akan ada integrated processing facilities,
there is an integrated facilities,
smart warehousing,
smart warehouse,
logistic center, dan trading.
trading and logistics center.
Dari kawasan 50 hektar yang ada saat ini sudah
From
terbangun
15
kurang lebih
hectares area,
60%, masih ada lahan yang bisa
there
didevelop,
are still 60% land area left,
kurang lebih 20 hektar.
more than 20 hectares.
Di samping itu ada beberapa bangunan yang
Moreover, there
nantinya
are some buildings that we are going to plan
kita akan jadikan untuk menjadi pusat processing,
becoming the center of
terutama
processing, especially food.
ya. Jadi di sana nanti akan ada bukan hanya sayur dan buah-buahan,
There's not
tapi
only about vegetable or fruits that we
juga
sell,
ada
but also
rumah potong hewan, slaughterhouse.
the slaughterhouse.
Kemudian juga akan dibangun
We are
integrated
going to
fish
build
processing.
the food phase integrating.
Ya. Kemudian di pergudangan kami
We also
memiliki
have storage
cold storage dengan kapasitas saat ini adalah
with a
650 ton.
capacity 600 tons.
Ke depan kami akan membangun
Further,
control
we are going
atmosphere
to build
storage,
the control atmosphere for the storage,
silo,
silo,
dan pergudangan kering.
and the dried forest.
Sebagai logistik center,
At the center of the logistic,
kita akan saat ini ada karantina
there are some quarantine
ikan dan pengendalian mutu.
about fishery and the quality.
Kemudian ada juga di sana pusat
For
logistik
further,
BK. Jadi ada custom.
there are some
Kemudian
custom trading,
kita akan mengembangkan food bonded zone.
especially developing the furniture.
Dalam trading kita ada wholesale market,
We also have trading for wholesale market,
kemudian agro auction,
also agro auction,
juga pusat ekspor import.
and the center of export and
Saat ini
import
juga
of
kami
Jatim.
sedang mengembangkan digital
We also
marketing
develop
untuk
the digital marketing.
ya, next slide.
Next slide.
Posisi Jawa Timur yang berada
The
di
position
tengah
of East Java, especially in the center.
saat ini sudah melakukan banyak perdagangan
Nowadays, we also do a
baik di
trading. Some trading we
wilayah
do
Indonesia Barat dan terutama di Indonesia Timur.
Western
Kami adalah
Indonesia
pensuplai
and
utama
Eastern
untuk Indonesia
Indonesia,
Timur.
especially in Eastern Indonesia.
Ya, next slide.
Next slide.
Investasi yang ada
investment
yang bisa jadi kesempatan
that we can
investment opportunity
over
ada
as the
processing facilities,
opportunity,
meliputi modern rice milling plant,
including
kemudian
modern rice
integrated
milling
fish
plant,
processing, modern
integrated fish
slaughterhouse,
processing, modern
alat proses
slaughterhouse,
untuk buah vapor heat treatment dalam rangka untuk ekspor,
the producer of the vapor
juga
heat
vacuum
treatment
freeze
for
drying
fruit,
and frying,
vegetable, and vacuum freeze drying and frying,
irradiation gamma untuk sterilisasi,
irradiation gamma for sterilizing,
juga poultry slaughterhouse.
poultry slaughterhouse,
Dan untuk Australia terutama adalah
for especially
processing
Australia,
buah dan sayuran.
the processing of fruits and
Ini sangat menarik
vegetables. This is very interesting
karena di Australia banyak
because in Australia,
brand-brand
we
untuk
know that there are some brand
untuk jus, untuk
for
buah-buah
juice, for
processing dan lain-lain.
fruits, and
Nah,
vegetable processing.
kami pernah menerima pengelola
We
pasar
ever
induk
received for the official
dari Australia
market
Barat.
in Western Australia.
Ketika berdiskusi,
When we
mereka
discussed
menyatakan
that,
di
they
Australia
say
untuk
that
mendapatkan
in
bahan
Australia
baku
to
buah
get the
pada
official
saat
fruit and
musim,
vegetable,
kira-kira
especially
$1
including with the
Australian
weather.
di luar musim buah Australian dollar. Tapi
based
di Jawa
on
Timur mungkin misalnya
Australian
mangga
dollars, but
pada
in
seluruh musim
Indonesia,
tidak lebih dari
in the fruit
mungkin
seasons,
30 sen dolar. Sehingga
maybe it
ini
can
menarik
cost
bagi para
$30.
pengusaha Australia untuk melakukan investasi di
This is the opportunity
Jawa
for
Timur.
Australian investor to get invest in Indonesia, especially East Java.
Fasilitas penunjangnya juga ada food logistic
We
and
also
distribution
have
center,
an
juga
enhanced
investment plan sudah
facilities,
ada.
like food logistic and
Next.
distribution center.
Ini adalah layout dari Puspa Agro.
This is the layout from Puspa Agro.
Existing building yang ada adalah yang blue
There are
itu,
existing building.
kemudian ada di cold storage,
We also
fish
have cold
quarantine
storage.
existing. Sementara yang di future development itu ada masih
Fish
16,5
quarantine
hektar
existing,
kosong.
and we need
Di depan
a
itu
half
ada area
hectare
komersial
for the
yang merah
commercial
itu.
area.
Kira-kira 1,6 hektar, 16.000
I think it will
persegi
be 16,000 hectare.
yang bisa didevelop nanti sebagai
It can be developed
pusat
as a center
promosi dan penjualan
as
dari
a promotion
produk-produk
and the
yang akan
trading from the
dikembangkan
product
di
that
Puspa
we
Agro.
want to develop in Puspa Agro.
Jadi kira-kira masih ada 20 hektar lebih lahan
And I
kosong
think there
atau
will be
building
20
yang kemudian
less
bisa
hectares.
dirubah, direnovasi untuk menjadi fasilitas-fasilitas
We
processing.
would like to renovate
Kalau
that building if there are some investment.
Teman-teman dari Australia yang ingin
Some friends
melakukan
from
investasi di
Australia want
Puspa
to
Agro.
invest us in Puspa Agro.
Next, saya kira ini sudah cukup ya waktunya ya. Nah ini adalah
I
view
think the
dari
time will
Puspa
be
Agro.
enough.
Flat itu ada dua twin tower yang sudah
There are
terbangun.
twin tower
Kemudian
that
ada
we
beberapa
built.
fasilitas building yang sudah juga terbangun. Yang kuning itu adalah yang sudah
The yellow
yang rencana
picture.
ini ya. Saya kira itu sementara Pak Immanuel.
I think that's all, Mr.
Yeah.
Emmanuel.
Terima kasih. Mohon maaf.
Okay, thank you, Pak Muhammad, for the presentation. Just a heads up for some of you, we're aware of there's some issue with the translation button, and we're working on it at the moment. So just bear with us. But thank you so much for the presentation. We will now next move to the next presentation by Mr. Agung Wibowo, who is the director of PT Kasa Husada, to speak about the Infusion Fluid Plant project. Now, Mr. Agung Wibowo has excelled as a branch manager for PT Indofarma Global Medica in several locations, including Jakarta, Solo, Surabaya, and Nusa Tenggara between 2002 and 2017, 3 years after he joined the company in 1999. He then joined PT Kasa Husada in July 2018 as the director. Academically, he graduated from Atmajaya University in the year 2000. He has been actively participating in several organizations such as BUMN Synergy East Java, GP Pharmacy, and Indonesian Young Entrepreneurs Association West Nusa Tenggara, which is also known as HIPMI. Now, his long career is also added with a long list of achievements, including National Best Performance Branch Manager with the PT Indofarma Global Medica back in 2008. His performance has also brought PT Kasa Husada Wira Jatim as the best subsidiary company of BUMD Jatim in 2019. Again, this presentation will be conducted in Indonesian. Hopefully, we sort out the problem. So now, don't forget to ask your question in the Q&A panel at the bottom. And we're going to watch a video presentation first before I pass it on to Mr. Agung. Let's have a look.
PT Kasa Husada Wira Jatim is a medical device company since June 11, 1926. It was named NV Verbandshoeven Company. To develop this company, its name was changed into PT Kasa Husada Wira Jatim under PT Pancawira Usaha Jawa Timur Holding. PT Pancawira Usaha Jawa Timur is a regional-owned enterprises by provincial government of East Java. For almost 94 years, PT Kasa Husada Wira Jatim has produced the best gauze and cotton product for medic, beauty, and special sanitary napkin for pregnancy. Its brand is Kasa Husada and Sura Husada. By having ISO 9001 certification since 2006, PT Kasa Husada has a captive market. There is state hospital and regional hospital. Its products are also available all over Indonesia. PT Kasa Husada Jatim's products have distributed by national-owned enterprises such as PT Kimia Pharma Trading and Distribution, PT Indofarma Global Medica, private pharmaceutical distributor company, and local distributor. As a pioneer company of Indonesian national standard of gauze, PT Kasa Husada Wira Jatim has many kinds of products. There are premium sterile gauze 16 by 16 centimeters, sterile hydrophilic gauze 16 by 16 centimeters, sterile compressed gauze 14 by 14 centimeters, and hydrophilic gauze dressing 40 yard by 80 centimeters. It also produces maternity sanitary napkins gauze, compressed sterile gauze, underpads, tie-on and ear loop mask, cotton pads, fatty cotton, and ball cotton. Premium sterile gauze becomes a featured product. It is made from the best quality cotton.
Okay, Pak Agung, the floor is yours.
Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Yang saya hormati Bapak Duta Besar,
To be honored,
Emil,
Australian
dan para
ambassador
investor,
and also investors.
kami akan memulai
We will
presentasi
start
mengenai
our presentation,
rencana investasi pabrik
our plan
cairan infus.
about the company Infusion Fluid
Next.
Plant.
Slide. Konsep kami pada intinya
Our
adalah
concept is
sebelumnya
especially
konsep kami karena melihat kondisi di mana pemenuhan
we're
cairan
taking a look
infus
at the
secara nasional
conditions of the Infusion
itu baru
Fluid Plant.
70%
It's
dari
only
total kebutuhan
70%
real.
from the need of the reality.
Yang kedua, pabrik ini akan menjadi
This October
strategic
will
business
be
unit
the strategic
untuk
business
pemerintah
unit
Provinsi Jawa Timur, mengingat produk
the
kesehatan,
government of
industri
the
kesehatan itu adalah
Indonesia,
bisnis yang strategis.
especially the business strategy.
Selanjutnya, kami mempunyai captive market,
And then we have a captive market.
beberapa rumah sakit dan
There
beberapa
are
pelayan
hospitals
jasa kesehatan.
and also serviced area.
Mungkin slide sebelum
Next slide.
back slide.
Next slide.
Kembali. Kembali ke awal. Nah. Next. Nah. Potensi ini yang
Our potential
yang menjadi alasan kami
is the reason
mencoba
of
untuk mengembangkan satu pabrik infus agar bisa
Fluid Plant company,
memperkecil gap antara kebutuhan dengan permintaan.
to make a circle of the gap.
Di dalam slide ini kami sudah melakukan survei
And we also do
atas
survey
pabrik yang sudah existing
Kasa company
dalam
that has been
industri
existing
cairan infus.
in Fluid Plant.
Total kapasitas mereka yang sudah menghasilkan
Our
148
total
juta
that is
botol
done
per
is
tahun. permintaan secara total 250 juta botol
And also the
per
demand
tahun.
in
Ada
2019,
gap
250,000
sekitar
million.
102 juta botol per
So the
tahun.
cap is
Ini
102,000
peluang ini yang akan
million.
kita manfaatkan. Next slide.
That we can do proper in the future.
Alasan lain,
The other
asuransi
reason,
kesehatan, BPJS Kesehatan sudah
we also have
beroperasi
the
secara
BPJS
nasional
or the insurance,
dan itu merupakan pasar
insurance,
yang sangat besar
and this is the fully
yang bisa
highly
kita
market
optimalkan.
that we can do more to be optimated.
PT Pancawira Usaha selaku holding kami
PT Pancawira Usaha
tanah
as a holding company that we hold
berupa tanah yang sangat potensial karena sudah kita
the
lakukan
potential market that we
bioelectrical
do
study.
more than to the electrical study.
Pemerintah Provinsi Jawa Timur mempunyai captive market seperti yang saya sampaikan
The
tadi.
province of the East Java has a
Beberapa rumah
captive
sakit
market.
pemerintah
There are some government hospital
yang memiliki anggaran belanja yang cukup
that
besar.
has
Itu merupakan pasar yang sangat potensial.
practical finance.
Brand awareness Kasa Husada selaku produk yang
Brand
existing
awareness of Kasa Husada
itu sudah sangat dikenal di masyarakat
is
dan
known
sudah
for the people in East
tersebar
Java and
dan
has been
sudah
spread
terbesar
out
nationally.
nationally.
Next slide.
Next slide.
Progres atas proyek ini
The progress that we do in this
kami
project
lakukan, kita bekerja
has
sama
been made
dengan
for the
University of
cooperation
Surabaya
Universities of Surabaya,
dan dinyatakan bahwa aset
and it
tanah
is
yang
declared that the feasible of the landmark
gunakan itu sudah memenuhi syarat
we can
dan
use
perhitungan
based on the
visibilitas bisnis
guidelines
itu
and for the
layak untuk
business, and it's
dilaksanakan.
qualified for the implementation.
Kita juga akan segera
We also, as soon as possible,
menyediakan perizinan-perizinan
apply
baik itu
and serve
secara legal,
the commit of
perizinan
the legality,
secara
the
teknik,
permission,
dan
as
mempersiapkan
technical,
fasilitas-fasilitas infrastruktur dan yang
and serve
diperlukan.
the infrastructure facility.
Untuk itu kami memerlukan financial support
So we
dari
need the financial support from Australia or any investors,
agar rencana kami bisa terrealisasi.
so our plan can be realized as soon as possible.
Next slide.
Next slide.
Overview dari tanah yang akan kita pergunakan
This is
sebagai
the overview of the location plan that we
rencana pabrik
use, the
cairan
plan
infus.
of the fluid plant company.
Terletak di Pandaan.
It is located in Pandaan.
Jadi dia menghadap jalan yang menghubungkan antara kota Surabaya dengan kota Malang.
Between the land area between Surabaya and Malang.
Jadi ini adalah main road between Surabaya and Malang.
This is the main road between Surabaya and Malang.
Secara distribusi, secara akses ini
distribution way,
sangat bagus
is really
karena menghubungkan beberapa kota
with some cities.
Next slide.
Next slide.
Ini kalau kita pandang dari depan, jadi
If
persis
we can have a look
di sebelah
in the
pintu gerbang
picture,
Taman Safari di Pandaan.
the side of the gate, yeah, that's the location.
Ya. Next slide.
Next slide.
Untuk kebutuhan investasi,
The need of investment,
kami membutuhkan secara total
we need for the total
18.250.000
million,
25 USD.
850 US dollar,
Australian dollar.
Australian dollar.
Dari total kebutuhan kami
For the total of the need of our finance,
untuk tanah itu yang akan menjadi
only land area
penyertaan kami
will
secara
be our supportive finance.
Oke, next slide.
Next slide.
Ini adalah waktu yang diperlukan.
This is the need of time of fluid plant
Mulai
company.
mulai dari awal sampai dengan
Start from the beginning.
Sampai dengan kita bersiap atau pabrik masuk ke pasar.
Until we prepare going to the market, the real market.
Ya, jadi diperlukan sekitar 29 sampai 35 bulan.
We need like 29 or more months.
Next slide.
Next slide.
Hambatan-hambatan yang selama ini
There are some obstacles that we may face.
Kami mempunyai keterbatasan terhadap modal.
We have some
PT Kasa
funding
sementara ini Husada sementara ini bergerak di bidang health equipment.
Lately, nowadays, we work at the very limited funding sources, especially health equipment.
Ya, jadi ini akan menjadi bisnis baru bagi kami.
This
Tapi
is the new
kami
business for us.
optimisme
But we
bahwa
are, to be honest, to be optimistic.
Dengan brand Kasa Husada yang sangat dikenal secara nasional,
With the brand of Kasa Husada
ke pasar
national,
dengan baik.
we do hope that it will gather in the national market in a great way.
Hambatan yang terakhir adalah mengenai perizinan.
The last
Perizinan
obstacle is
untuk
of course
farmasi
about the permission.
itu sangat rumit, tetapi kami
For medical production
sampai ke Kementerian Kesehatan yang mungkin akan support kami terhadap
until
perizinan.
for the ministry.
Next slide. Terima kasih. Kami menunggu
We do waiting the feedback from
teman-teman investor di Australia.
investor in Australia, also the participants.
Apa yang menjadi harapan kami dapat
I
terrealisasi.
hope what I expect will be realized as soon as possible.
Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Agung, for your presentation. Just like to remind everybody that you can still ask questions in the Q&A panel at the bottom of your screen. Just type whatever you want to ask and probably mention specifically who do you want to ask the question to. Because now we will move to the first Q&A segment, and I will pick a question specifically directed to the previous two speakers, Mr. Muhammad and Mr. Agung. Now, for this segment, I too will ask the question in Indonesian. So if you need the translation service, please don't forget to turn it on at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Oke, terima kasih Pak Agung dan Pak Muhammad. Mungkin pertanyaan pertama saya mau tanyakan kepada Pak Muhammad, ya. Pak Muhammad? Ya, oke. Terima kasih untuk presentasinya. Menurut Bapak, bagaimana Puspa Agro dapat mentransform diri untuk menjadi hub utama untuk membangun bisnis di Jawa Timur?
How Puspa Agro can be the selective company in Eastern Java?
Maaf Pak, audionya mungkin diperbaiki.
Nggak dengar.
Pak Muhammad, mungkin audionya bisa diperbaiki, Pak. Mohon maaf.
Tetap nggak bunyi. Ini udah maksimal.
Pak Muhammad, maaf, audionya mungkin ada gangguan sedikit.
Oh ya.
Ya, Pak Muhammad, sudah?
Sudah. Ya.
Oke, ya sudah jelas. Terima kasih. Sorry Pak, mungkin mohon maaf, mungkin diulang lagi Pak. Jadi saya mau tahu bagaimana Puspa Agro itu bisa mentransform diri untuk menjadi hub yang utama untuk membangun bisnis di Jawa Timur.
Jadi kalau dulu pada saat awal pembangunan, Puspa Agro itu adalah sebagai wholesale market untuk memasarkan produk-produk pertanian Jawa Timur, agroproduk Jawa Timur. Pada saat ada rencana blueprint dari MPTKII dengan sistem logistik ikan nasional di tahun yang lalu, kemudian kita melihat posisi Jawa Timur yang berada secara geografis di tengah dan selama ini juga menjadi supplier utama untuk kebutuhan Indonesia Timur, maka Puspa Agro dicoba dilakukan repositioning, ditransformasi menjadi pusat logistik yang akan melayani regional Indonesia Timur. Maka kemudian di Puspa Agro sendiri juga nanti akan dilakukan pengembangan investasi-investasi, terutama pada processing produk-produk agro untuk melayani Indonesia Timur. Ketika kita bicara pada logistik, maka tentu Pak Emmanuel tidak bisa pada posisi misalnya buah atau sayur mentah atau daging mentah, tetapi pasti akan menjadi sesuatu yang diproses terlebih dahulu, masuk pada chain gitu ya, sehingga rantainya ada rantai dingin. Maka di Puspa Agro akan dikembangkan investasi-investasi terkait dengan processing terutama untuk makanan tadi. Salah satu kenapa misalnya di Puspa Agro ada fasilitas milik Kementerian Kelautan dan Perikanan berupa Balai Karantina Ikan dan Pengendalian Mutu, karena salah satunya adalah dalam rangka untuk meningkatkan logistik indeks, karena selama ini Jawa Timur itu 40% produk ikan olahan itu ada di Jawa Timur. Sumbernya ada di Indonesia Timur. Mereka mengirimkan ikan-ikan itu lewat river container. Terkadang kalau mereka akan mengirim kembali, itu harus menggunakan kontainer kosong, river container kosong. Maka kalau kemudian Puspa Agro menjadi pusat logistik, pada saat kontainer itu dikirim kembali ke wilayah Indonesia Timur, bisa diisi dengan kumpulan mereka dan pangan mereka. Itulah salah satu posisi yang kita lakukan. Dan selama ini juga misalnya Jakarta, beberapa produk seperti telur, ayam itu suplainya ada dari Jawa Timur.
Oke, terima kasih Pak. Terima kasih. Saya boleh minta Pak Agung, berdasarkan presentasi Bapak tadi Pak, mohon bisa lebih dijelaskan lebih luas lagi bagaimana perusahaan Bapak dan aktivitas apa aja yang menjadi main business operation-nya perusahaan Bapak. Pak Agung mungkin di unmute Pak. Di unmute dulu. Pak Agung, are you? Pak Agung? Masih di mute Pak Agung. Pak Agung sudah unmute ya, silakan ya langsung Pak Agung. Pak Agung?
Ya, cek.
Ya, sudah masuk. Ya, sudah masuk. Iya. Sudah unmute ya, silakan.
Oke.
Ya. Tadi pertanyaan saya mungkin dijelaskan aktivitas-aktivitas apa aja yang menjadi main business operation-nya perusahaan Bapak.
Kok mati lagi? Mohon diulang Pak Immanuel.
Ya.
Can you repeat, Mr. Emmanuel?
Tolong dijelaskan lebih jauh lagi mengenai perusahaan Bapak dan
about your company,
business operation yang utama dari perusahaan Bapak.
The main business operation.
Oke, terima kasih.
Okay, thank you.
Bisnis kami adalah manufaktur.
In our business, especially about manufacturers company.
Manufaktur alat kesehatan.
Health tools and health equipment.
Kami bekerja sama dengan BUMN, Badan Usaha Milik Negara.
BUMN or state-owned corporation.
Seperti Indofarma, seperti Kimia Farma.
Indofarma, Kimia Farma.
Sebagai perpanjangan tangan kami, agar jangkauan pasarnya bisa meliputi seluruh pelosok Indonesia.
The area of Indonesia.
Jadi kami menggunakan beberapa strategi untuk memasarkan produk. Salah satunya adalah dengan melakukan kerjasama.
One of them is to do a relationship and cooperation.
Kita melakukan co-marketing dengan nasional.
National distributors.
Harapan kami apabila nanti kami mempunyai apabila kita mempunyai pabrik infus, kita akan bisa memasarkan produk-produk tersebut secara nasional melalui distributor-distributor nasional yang sudah bekerja.
That's Mr. Emmanuel, the landscape of our business.
Muhammad, Pak Muhammad ada pertanyaan, bagaimana dengan time frame dari Puspa Agro Business Center Project? Apakah ini sudah sebagai greenfield site atau masih atau ini sesuatu yang diperluas dari proyek yang sudah ada?
Or it is the expanding project that already exists.
Ya, Pak Muhammad silakan.
Ya, Pak Emmanuel, terima kasih. Jadi memang saat ini Puspa Agro ini untuk transformasinya saya kira sudah disetujui oleh pemerintah Provinsi Jawa Timur, bahkan dari pusat juga mensupport itu, maka problem yang selama ini ada di Puspa Agro berupa akses jalan yang masih terhambat, kemudian diupayakan untuk diselesaikan, sudah masuk di dalam Peraturan Presiden tahun nomor 19 tahun 80 mengenai percepatan pembangunan infrastruktur. Di jalan akses Puspa Agro itu sudah masuk dalam kategori skala prioritas, bahkan super prioritas. Ya, dalam hari-hari ini progresnya adalah membuat perencanaan untuk pengembangan akses ke jalan ke Puspa Agro, dan ada rencana juga untuk pengembangan melakukan akses langsung dari tol menuju Puspa Agro. Dan itu sudah masuk pada skala prioritas, masuk di dalam Perpres nomor 19 tahun 2019.
Perpres RUU, oke.
Ya, Perpres 80, mohon maaf. Ya.
Oke, Perpres 80.
Ya, tahun 2019 untuk membuka jalan akses ke Puspa Agro.
The high access.
Karena dari beberapa kajian oleh Bank Indonesia dan lain-lain, saat ini apa yang dilakukan di Puspa Agro itu juga bisa menjadi instrumen pemerintah untuk pengendalian inflasi dan mengontrol ketersediaan bahan pangan pada saat kebencanaan. Karena kami punya pengalaman ketika ada beberapa bencana alam, gunung kelut meletus, banyak pengungsi, maka suplai bahan pangan mereka itu dilakukan melalui para pedagang maupun dari jejaring yang ada di kami.
Oke. Ya.
Dan untuk Australia mungkin beberapa informasi beberapa
we have some
perusahaan Australia
information.
juga sudah melakukan peninjauan. Kami pernah didatangi oleh pengelola pasar induk di Australia Barat,
from the official market
dan mereka
of
menyatakan
Australia,
sebetulnya yang
and then
harus
they
dilakukan
stated
juga
that what we are going to
adanya
do
processing gitu ya. Tetapi memang waktu itu
is a
mereka melihat
processing
kendalanya pada akses, Pak
processing
Emil.
method, but
Sehingga dengan
they say
adanya
that the access
penyelesaian
that we
akses
need
yang
to
masuk
recover.
dalam proyek prioritas itu, harapannya ke depan akan lebih baik.
I hope later will be great as soon as
Oke.
possible.
Terima kasih Pak Muhammad. Berikut ada pertanyaan untuk Pak Agung dari seorang member dari IIPC dari Tasmania bernama Peter Craven. Terima kasih Pak Peter untuk pertanyaannya. Pak Agung, saya berasumsi bahwa produksi dan distribusi infusion fluid terbuka untuk FDA. Jika demikian, berapa persen yang diperbolehkan?
So how many persons that you need?
Oke, terima
Agung,
kasih.
silakan. Ya.
Ya, terima kasih. Tes, sound.
Sudah Pak, ya, sudah masuk.
Sudah masuk ya. Ya, rasanya kalau FDI ya, ini
I think for FDI,
kaget. Apa namanya? Rasanya terbuka,
I think
sangat
it's
terbuka
openness,
untuk
we do
investasi.
openness for investment.
Artinya
So it means
tidak ada satu hambatan
there is
dalam
no obstacle
besaran investasi. Hanya mungkin nanti
if we do
pada
investment, but later
kepemilikan saham
for the
mungkin ada
ownerships,
aturan yang harus kita
there are some highlight
patuhi.
rules that we need to obey.
Jadi untuk investasi open wide,
So for the investment, we open wide investment.
itu Pak Immanuel yang bisa
That's
saya
Mr.
sampaikan.
Emmanuel.
Oke, terima kasih Pak. Satu lagi mungkin kepada Pak Muhammad dan Pak Agung, secara umum aja gitu, mungkin cepat saja. Expertise seperti apa yang para pemerintah dan bapak ini cari di Australian partner? What specific expertise are you seeking from Australian partners?
Ya, terima kasih Pak Emil. Saya kira kalau untuk Australia kami sangat tertarik karena Australia
I think based on the
sudah
Australian
terkenal
market,
dalam
Australia has been famous, been
untuk
known well
keahlian di food
for
processing gitu ya.
food
Banyak
processing
brand-brand
investment.
Australia yang baik
There are
untuk
some
baik
brand-brand
itu
Australia
pengolahan
that is
pada
widely
sayur,
breeders,
buah maupun
especially
mungkin
vegetable, fruit,
daging ya.
and meats.
Nah, dalam posisi itulah
And
kemudian
through this
kami sangat
position,
berharap kita
we
bisa
do
melakukan
hope that we
kolaborasi
do a
para pengusaha dari
collaboration
Australia untuk kemudian melakukan
from the
investasi di Puspa
entrepreneur from
Agro.
Australia
Karena
in Puspa Agro.
ya mereka punya ekspertise di situ dan mungkin kami juga
Yeah, that's for the
posisinya
expertises
saat
and the
ini
positions
punya
nowadays.
jejaring juga untuk lokal
We have
partner
few
kami. Kami
local
adalah supplier
market
untuk misalnya
distributors,
beberapa pasar
suppliers,
modern seperti Transmart,
especially food moderns
kemudian
like Transmart,
Indogrosir, Hypermart, maupun rumah sakit yang
also the
internasional
hospital,
maupun
international
lokal seperti
hospital
rumah
and
sakit
local
Port
hospital.
Healthcare Pelabuhan, rumah sakit Pelabuhan, kemudian Siloam maupun
Siloam,
Primer gitu ya. Kami ada
and the
supplier
Primer Hospital.
hotel juga beberapa dulu supplier tapi hari-hari ini
hotel,
sejak COVID memang
Ya.
but since
turun
COVID,
ya.
Dimengerti,
yeah,
dimengerti.
it's decreases.
Terima kasih Pak Muhammad. Pak Agung, bagaimana spesifik expertise apa yang dicari dari Australian partner?
Ya, kurang lebihnya sama Pak
I
Immanuel.
think it's
Ya,
just the same.
kami sangat tertarik bekerja sama
We
dengan
do interested.
Australia karena Australia termasuk satu negara
Australia is
karena
one of the
produk-produk
country that has
healthcare-nya itu cukup baik di pasar
the
Indonesia.
healthcare in Australia is in a good market.
Kalau
in
kita
Australia.
ngomong Australia ini beda
If you
kita
talk
ngomong
about Australia,
ASEAN ya, karena Australia ini kan
we also
identiknya
talk
dengan
about ASEAN.
European, jadi mereka punya standar yang
But we
lebih
also
tinggi.
to talk about
Negara
European.
ASEAN. Jadi itu akan menjadi salah satu daya
That
tarik
can be one of the
kita bisa
interesting
bekerja sama,
pathway that we can do
karena pasar pasti
collaboration
akan
because
menyambut
market
dengan lebih baik,
and
mengingat
reach
standar
in a good way.
yang diterapkan di
Especially the
Australia,
standard
saya yakin pasti akan
that
lebih tinggi
apply in
daripada
Australia is
negara-negara di kawasan ASEAN. Ini yang membuat saya
great. This is what I make
itu Pak.
this
Terima kasih,
session
Pak.
very interesting.
Pak Muhammad, Pak Agung, terima kasih untuk inputnya, untuk jawabannya. Para pemirsa, kita akan masuk ke segmen presentasi berikutnya. yang akan dibawakan dalam bahasa Inggris. Jadi bagi para pengguna penterjemah, jangan lupa matikan fitur interpretation. So we will now move to the next segment of the presentations, which going to be conducted both in English. So coming up next is Mr. David Marcus. I have to make sure I pronounce the name right. Mr. David Marcus to discuss about the Ijen Blue Fire Theme Park cable car. Now, Mr. David Marcus is the founder and CEO of Sustainable Management Group since 2000. He possesses a lot of experience in the tourism sector, including the 3-year term as a chairman of the Ministry of Tourism Ecotourism Development Acceleration Team between 2016 and 2019. He was the founder and chairman of the Indonesian Nature Tourism Association between 2007 and 2016, an active member of the National Working Group on Sustainable Tourism Development of Indonesia, and is currently a member of Sustainable Development Solutions Network. Now, before I'll let Mr. David do his presentation, let's check this next video.
Open your eyes, open your mind. Feel the warmth, see the smile. Friendship and love, that's what I feel. Hold my hands, turn with me. People of the land, they dance and sing. Magnificent beauty of nature, among the colors of heaven. This is a wonderful place. I feel loved, I feel wonderful, oh wonderful Indonesia. Buka mata, rasakanlah kehangatan, senyuman, cinta dan persahabatan. Mari bergenggam tangan, beragam budaya begitu mengagumkan, keelokan alamnya, oh sungguh mempesona, indahnya negeriku. Ku cinta, aku terpana, pesona Indonesia.
All right, Pak David, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Pak Emmanuel. Honorable Indonesian Ambassador to Australia, Pak Kristiarto, Pak Henry Rombe, IIPC Director, dear friends from BKPM and PTSP East Java, our Australian friends, colleague from IIPC, IBC, all the presenters and all participants. Thank you for this opportunity. For the next few minutes, I will present a project that is expected to become a national pride in Indonesia and have a sustainable impact for the people, the environment, and the economy. Before I continue my presentation, again, I would like to invite all of us to watch another short video statement from the Coordinating Minister of Maritime Affairs and Investment, as well as the Minister of Finance of the Republic of Indonesia. It was last year prior of holding the World Bank and IMF annual meeting. Enjoy watching. Next.
Hello, we are in Ijen crater. It's a preservation area since 1920, since Dutch colony. This is among the rare and the most beautiful place in Indonesia, Banyuwangi in Eastern Java. For all of you who's going to come to the annual meeting of IMF World Bank this October, I will recommend strongly, please come to Ijen. A very terrific, very challenging hiking for all of you. It's gonna be a nice and relaxing place.
only 15-minute flying time from Bali to Banyuwangi. So please do come. We guarantee you will enjoy very much such a beautiful scenery in Ijen Creator. Thank you.
Awesome.
Ijen Creator.
Okay.
Yeah, next. Yeah, as clearly stated by the two ministers in the video we just watched, Ijen is indeed an extraordinary destination and must be developed in a professional way and quality manner, so we can improve the existing operational of this destination and to create a useful added value to enrich the national tourism destination in Indonesia. On this slide, it is shown that PT Sura Parama Setia will develop Ijen's destination with various amenities and attractions, both hotels, a glam camp, and cable car, which will become the first icon of destination in Indonesia. The development that will be carried out will be based on sustainability by paying attention to environmental, community, and economic aspects through tourism under the name of Ijen Blue Fire Theme Park. Next, please. Yeah, this is showing Ijen Blue Fire Theme Park as a sustainable tourism project through a public-private people partnership approach. As shown in this slide, we, together with the local government, on the third ring, that's the white color, we will organize a community-based ecotourism development. This is the area where the community will become tourism actors. Next, please. Given the project is the first project for cable car in Indonesia, we have set out to carry out the best studies, technologies, and equipments in the world. Various studies and analyses were carried out in the early years of the project, and during the past 2 years, various preparatory activities in the field have been carried out. Next, please. We are getting expertise from Swiss to finish the geological survey. Next. We have also finished the project conceptual site plan and basic design. Next. Please move back, please. Move back. Yeah. So this is the geological survey done by the Swiss consultant. Yeah. Next. Okay, maybe there's skip one slide. So we did already also the soil on board tests, and every spot that the towers and the station of the cable car and the hotel will be constructed. Next, please. We did also and recorded a very detailed topography map. So we have now the picture of the height of each towers and also station. Next. This is the conceptual site plan and design. Next. So this is the line of the cable car. It will cross the mountain of Ijen from the base of the mountain named Paltuding all the way to the crater, and it will take about the length of 2 kilometers, where restaurant and viewing platform will be built at the 3 different stations. Next. So this is an aerial portrait of the first station and the base of the mountain. Next. So this is the aerial portrait of the second station between the base of the mountain and the crater. Next. So this is the cable car specification. As you see here that when you go to Ijen and you would like to hike, currently the time needed to hike is about 1.5 up to 2 hours, depends on how fit you are. But later, if you ride the cable car, it will take only 12 minutes. Besides that, it will possible for elderly people and children to see the crater more convenient and safe. Next. Yeah, this is also one of the most important activities that we did, socialization, which has been carried out since 3 years ago, including various focus group discussions, training, and informal discussion. Next. So for anybody who would like to interest with this project, please send an email to these 2 names and we will provide more detailed information. Next. So that's a brief description of the Ijen Blue Fire Theme Park. Thank you for the attention, and back to you, Pak Emmanuel. Thanks.
Thank you, Pak David. We've seen some questions coming up, so we'll just keep them coming. We'll ask the question during the Q&A segment. I will now move to the last segment of the presentations, which is by Mr. David Santoso, the President Director of PT Intelegensia Grahatama, to discuss about the Singhasari, what was that again? See, Special Economic Zone, the Singhasari Special Economic Zone project. Mr. David Santoso is a Boston College School of Art and Science Economic and Gemological Institute of America graduate. He is currently holding several leadership positions besides his President Director position in PT Intelegensia Grahatama. He is currently a leader in consulting, property development, and hotel developer companies. He is also active in several social activities and has been a member of Malang Regional Research Council for Economic and Social Empowerment since 2017. His social cultural activity has been recognized by the government of East Java and the Surakarta Hadiningrat Palace, as he received 2 honorary titles from the palace in 2014 and 2018. Now, before we move on to Mr. David Santoso, let's check this next video. Thank you, Pak David Santoso. Over to you.
Thank you, Pak Emmanuel Setiawan. So thank you for the opportunity to talk to all of you today. Good afternoon in Australia. So I'm David Santoso from Singhasari Special Economic Zone. So Singhasari Special Economic Zone is located in Malang, Kabupaten Malang. Is around 7 kilos from city of Malang. It's 70 kilos from Juanda International Airport in Surabaya, So, and around Malang, I think radius 100 kilos, you got around 15 million population. So we are quite in the middle of a populous demography. Next. Next. So we are appointed by the President of Indonesia based on the government regulations number 68, year 2019, in designation of Kawasan Ekonomi Khusus Singhasari, Singhasari Special Economic Zone. So there are currently 15 special economic zones in Indonesia. So we are number 13th special economic zone. I think a few of the uniqueness is, as you see, lots of the special economic zones are built, located outside Java Island because of the spirit of the economic empowerment for the outside Java region. But we managed to get the permission from the government to be one of the 3 special economic zone in Java. So we got Tanjung Lesung in West Java, that's a tourism special economic zone. And in the middle we have Kendal, it's in Central Java, but that's mainly for manufacturing. And we got Singhasari in East Java, is for tourism and technological development. Next. So we have 2 main activities designated by the government. Number 1 is the tourism zones. So it is expected to be the main amenities built for Bromo Tengger Semeru, because that's one of the 10 new Bali that have been declared by the president. So we are expected to serve something like the Nusa Dua in Jawa Timur. The tourism attractions ranging from culture, heritage, could be museum, art center, historical village, and also a lot of natural attractions around Singhasari area. So we are located just in the middle of the remnants of Singhasari Kingdom, which is the roots for all Javanese kingdom. So we are only like 2 kilos from the Candi Singhasari and Candi Sumberawan, the Hindu and the Buddha's Buddha temple, which is very close to the area. So in tourism zones, we are looking for like hotels, resorts, glamour camping, private villas, nice facilities, just like what you see in Nusa Dua and also Mandalika. We are having head of agreement with ITDC, Indonesian Tourism Development Corporations, in developing this. So we are implementing the best practice that have been implemented in Nusa Dua to be implemented in Singhasari tourism zone. Because of the COVID things, I think the tourism sectors have been hit quite badly. So we are looking some of the slowing down of the investment from the tourism side. But I think for the second main activities designated by the government, we are very optimistic that the technological development will flourish. I think, as we can see, lots of the telecoms company, the digital economy is even faster during this pandemic era. So I think with this we are building the Singhasari Digital Valley. I think that's quite comparable, not exactly the same with Silicon Valley, because we have different situations in Indonesia. But I think it will serve as the center of excellence of these incubations and startup accelerations in the country. I think this will be very probable because the government, along with the government regulations designation for the Singhasari Special Economic Zone, they give a lot of incentive, fiscal or non-fiscal. So I think foreign investors can own lands in Special Economic Zone. There are relaxations in immigrations, and then customs, income tax, and so on. And also, we are in the middle of some 60s or 70s universities and higher education in Malang. That's why I think we have lots of these young millennial talents, the best talents in Indonesia, along with Yogyakarta and Bandung. I think we have a lot of talents in animation and game developers. I think we are also looking to develop the animation game factory. We are also now finishing up our joint venturing with the biggest game developers in Indonesia and a few animation agency and animation production house. We are also entering a joint venture with Telkom Sigma, one of the leading subsidiaries of Telkom, and also we are having memorandum of understanding with Telkom University, which will also build one of the international standard digital schools in. Next. So as I mentioned, we are in the middle of East Java, so it's only 7 kilos from Malang, only 70 kilos from Surabaya, 1 hour away from Jordan International Airport, and also just 15 minutes from Malang Airport, which have regular more than 10 flights daily to Jakarta and have 1 flight to Bali and several other destinations. Next. This is the visionary master plan that we have. So we have entertainment area, commercial area, accommodations for the tourism amenities, and also the residential area, and also some utilities and green areas to develop. Next. The total area is 120.3 hectares, but it's expandable to 200 hectares. So we get the permit is up to 200 hectares. For the first phase, we are building 44.8 hectares for the first 3 years. And now the infrastructure, the basic infrastructure, we finished 55% of the basic infrastructure as per today. So this is not a greenfield project. So we have infrastructures and electricity, all the permitting, water, and everything already installed in the zones. So we are quite ready for investment. Next. Next. Yeah, next. Next. As you can see, there's a buildable lot. So we have like the buildable lot. So the business model is we can sell the land. We can have a long lease for the land, and also we can have a joint relations and joint ventures with a foreign company who is interested in the specific activities in special economy. So I think because of the SEC designation, that the ease of doing business is highly privileged in the zones because all of the permitting and everything is processed under like one administrator office in special economic zones. There's a tax incentive, there's a importation duties and excise incentive, traffic and movement of goods, immigration incentives, employment, and also the land utilizing and property access. Thanks. So there are specific government regulations. So this is, I think, the old one, but the new one is the PP number 12. So the government regulations number 12, year 2020, I think, which is give the ultimate incentive for investment. So I think specifically, I'm a strong believer of this IA-CEPA will bring a lot of good things to Indonesia and Australia, and also I'm very happy to be in the 30 years of the friendship with East Java and Australia, and I think we are also planning with Australia Trade to also organize a specific webinars on also inviting vocational training providers and also universities to invest in also in our zones, besides on the tourism and the digital sectors. I think last remark is the foreign universities as per the recent ministerial decree is only permitted in a special economic zone. So I think we are quite unique, which we have the special economic zone, but we are also located in a quite densely population. So that's one of the things that we can explore. Thank you, Pak Emmanuel, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Pak David Santoso. Now, if you have more questions, please do not hesitate to use the Q&A panel to ask the question. If we have the time, we will ask your question to the floor, but if not, we will address it in some other occasion. So I'd like to bring the two David back for a Q&A segment. First, I'd like to ask to Pak David Marcus. We've seen your presentation. I'm just wondering if you can tell us about the unique selling proposition that Ijen cable car project can offer to potential investor. Pak David, maybe unmute yourself first. Yep, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Emmanuel. There are some advantages of the Ijen cable car project. First, this project has a very high comparative advantages. The point of interest, namely blue fire, is only 2 in the world, and the one in Ijen is considered a better quality. Second, even currently Ijen as a destination is operated without proper marketing and management, means Ijen is already in operation, but is operated by the government nowadays. Yet is able to have a market and visitors of 160,000 people per year, where 25% is international tourists. Third, as a destination, this project has very good accessibility, which can be accessed by air, land, and sea. Fourth, this project is located in Banyuwangi Regency, which is the most aggressive district in Indonesia in developing tourism and infrastructure. The project is also surrounded by various other attractions and destinations. Fifth, Banyuwangi is neighboring district of Bali, so it becomes an extension of tourist destination of Bali. And last, sixth, this project received very positive support, both from central and local government. So based on these 6 comparative and competitive advantages, I think Ijen cable car is one of the most interesting project for investment. Back to you, Pak Emmanuel.
All right, thank you. So is the project ready to offer? Where's the status of the project development in regards to its readiness to be offered to investors?
Yeah, this project has been started since 4 years ago because we really would like to have a government compliance because this is a long-term investment. So we don't want to see any claim in the future, especially if we challenge regarding the licenses and permit. In fulfilling the government regulation, the project had finished all the related important and major license and permit. Work plan map, business area boundary, business plan, environment management efforts, and monitoring efforts. We pay all the concession fee, environmental license. And even the project already gets support from the Indonesian Exim Bank and local bank in Indonesia, and also get support from some export credit agency from Europe. From the preparation and technical aspect, as I mentioned in my presentation, we did already a lot of preparation on field. So we are getting more positive day by day with all the various confirmation and support from different stakeholders and parties. So it is not surprising that in Indonesia, this project compared to other similar tourism project is at the forefront of its readiness. Back to you, Pak Emmanuel.
All right, thank you. I'm looking forward to ride that first cable car when it's done. Now I'd like to bring another David Santoso, just to ask questions. Now I see in your presentation there are many advantages when we do businesses at Singhasari Special Economic Zone. Can you give us an example of what facilities and incentive we'll get in the special economic zone? Perhaps a hotel operator?
Thank you, Emmanuel. So I think in the incentive, you're right. It's not only from the central government, from the central tax office, but also from the regional government tax. So I think hotel industry, they are taxed like 10% from sales, gross sales, and as a PP1, pajak pembangunan 1 is development tax, they say regional development tax. So we have been in talk with the regional government for almost 1 year now, and we're happy to announce that we are concluding the regional decree on this. Will be out somewhere by PP4 the end of the year, and there will be a regional tax incentive for investment above 30 billion rupiah, so it's around 3 million Australian money. It will enjoy 10 years of zero regional tax. So it means like it's a 10% from gross incentive, which I think comparable to the doubling the EBITDA.
All right. So I noticed also in your presentation, you discussed about the two sides of the offer, the tourism sector and the digital sector. Now, as we know, during this pandemic, in general, the industry of tourism is not looking very good. Can you tell us a little bit about the digital business sector? We know it's still growing. How does it relate to the development of digital technology as one of the main activities at the economic zone? If you can give us some example, that would be great as well.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Pak. So I think we divided the digital sectors into 3 sectors, main sectors. I think the 3 C's is content, communication, and computing, but I think we only put 2, computing and content. So I think content is like the film, animations. I think during this pandemic era, people stay in the house and the kids are in the house. They are looking for more content into like for the top products, like the OTT or even televisions. So I think Malang has been long in the workforce of this animation and film productions, and we want to strengthen that positions. And also like the computing, I think a lot of the talents, I think much cheaper than Jakarta, much cheaper than Bandung, much cheaper than Jogja. I think good talents with affordable price, because they do this, Pak Emmanuel, not in the city setting. The advantage is they are not having the corporate culture. Everything in this pandemic era with the corporate culture, we cannot afford it anymore because it's just too expensive. So I think in Malang, the advantage is they do this as a community driven. So we want to find the sweet spot, like the newer business model, how to do this, like the digital transformations, but in the community spirit. For example, like when people are not taking the minimum wages as the startup founders, they just take maybe 2.5 million rupiah. They are happy enough to live with. Yeah, in Jakarta, easily like one person, like the minimum wages, you hit certain numbers like 5-6 million.
Very affordable. Thank you very much, Pak David. Thank you to the panelists in this segment. Thank you for all the answer of the questions. I think we have now the Vice Governor of East Java is joining us. I just want to see if they're okay. So postpone it. Okay, I'd like to welcome the governor, Mr. Emil Dardak, the Vice Governor of East Java, to give a closing remark. Silakan, Pak Emil.
Right, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Greetings to participants of this forum, and I'm here to represent the governor, Ibu Kofifa Indar Parawansa, who is unfortunately in the last minute unable to join because of a very urgent agenda with the Ministry of State Apparatus and Bureaucratic Reform. So first of all, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to the Embassy of Indonesia in Australia, in Canberra, for organizing this event. We truly believe that this is a start of a very good partnership between Indonesia and Australia. If we can see that East Java is located very proximate to Australia. I'd like to share a very brief presentation as part of these closing remarks, so if we can allow that. But also I would like to thank the IIPC, Indonesia Investment Promotion Center, for organizing this event as well, and to all the presenters who presented the selected projects. But these are not all. These are just a feel of what we have in place for investors to come into East Java. So next slide. So if we can see that, you can see there, East Java is very near to Australia. I was a regent, a mayor of Trenggalek, one of the municipality in East Java, and we had two of the outermost islands in Indonesia that is closest to Australia. So we are at the southernmost part of Indonesia, and therefore it is very important that we can strengthen the cooperation between East Java and Australia. And within Indonesia, we are also a hub for the eastern part of Indonesia. We supply most of the critical logistics for a lot of provinces and islands in the eastern part of Indonesia. Next. And in terms of competitiveness for investment, we are ranked number 2 in 2019. And this was a survey carried out by the Asia Competitiveness Institute from Singapore. So indeed, we can see the objectiveness of this survey. We are second after Jakarta. Next. And in terms of ease of doing business, we are actually ranked number 1 in 2018. And that takes into account how attractive we are for investors, the business friendliness, and competitive policies. Next. So 40 million population, 39.5 to be exact, and a size area, our area of 47,000 or nearly 48,000 square kilometer makes us even larger than countries like the Netherlands. So it's a very vast province and a lot of opportunities that awaits. Next. So we are proud to share with you the fact that we are supported by abundant infrastructure, including one of the busiest seaport, serving 35 million 20-foot equivalent units in Surabaya, and a number of supporting seaports to strengthen the domestic connectivity. We also have a major international airport, and also a very comprehensive rail network, and a number of industrial estates that have hosted hosted numbers of major manufacturers, both domestic as well as internationally renowned names. Next. Next. Okay, next. So just to share with you the fact that it was not a happy time for all of us globally, economic-wise. The second quarter, almost all economies experienced contraction. Indonesia is not an exception. And Java Island, which is 60% of Indonesia's economy and also population, experienced a massive contraction. Although we also in East Java experienced contraction, but fortunately our contraction is the lowest compared to others. So we have the least contracted economy. And why is that so? We believe that the resilience of the economy in East Java that is predominated by small, medium enterprises. We also have a very vibrant agriculture sector. So during the pandemic, agriculture contribution rose from 10% to 14%. So we still have massive amount of potential agriculture sectors that we can rely upon during this difficult time, employing 1/3 of our population, our working age population. And 30% of our economy still comes from manufacturing. So contraction happens mostly on sectors related to tourism, transportation, and other tertiary sectors. But when we talk about industries, it still stands at 30%, which shows that there is very strong resilience in our manufacturing in East Java. And also trade is reduced, but not to a very large extent. So probably just about from 18% to 17%. So we believe this shows the resilience of our economy at the time when we put on our brake pedal the most, because the second quarter is the time when we implement the massive economic activity restrictions. And in the third quarter, the economic activity actually started to gradually increase. Next. Now, in terms of investment realization, as a result of the hard work done in the previous year, in 2019, we saw that in the first semester, our investment actually rose by 59, nearly 60%. That is much larger than what Indonesia experienced at only 1.8%. And we have a very strong domestic investments. So there is a lot of room to share for foreign investments. Our foreign investments can still grow very much. So domestic investments is the highest compared to any other provinces in Java. So this shows the level of resilience and the persistence, and also how vigilant these local domestic investors are. And I think this is a proxy into saying that foreign investments, is a good sign that you have a very committed local partners. They all look into East Java. So it's just a matter of knowing us better, connecting with us better, and that's exactly what we're trying to do in this forum. Next. Now, this is the number. Where do FDIs go? They go into chemical and pharmaceutical industries. So we're growing rapidly in this area. Food industry, well, not so much for foreign direct investments, but there's a lot of room because of our connectivity with the eastern islands that produces lots of the raw materials. And also other sectors are growing, but I'd like to highlight chemical and pharmaceutical as one of them. And then next is domestic direct investment in housing, industrial estate, and office space. That's for domestics, and also the third largest in electricity, gas, and water. Next. So the top 10 FDIs come from, number one, we can see is Singapore, which is the hub. And then the second is coming from Japan. And then followed by South Korea. And then number 4 is Hong Kong. And then in 5th is PRC, China. We want to see more of Australia coming in. Because being the closest neighbor, I think it is very important to have Australia coming in more to Indonesia. Next. So where do Australian FDIs go? We can see that the largest actually go to Surabaya. Surabaya is still the hub. And then we followed by Gresik, which is actually the neighbor of Surabaya, and Mojokerto, and Sidoarjo and Pasuruan. So we can see that about nearly 80%, 80 to 85% of our investments go into the Surabaya megapolitan, because Gresik, Mojokerto, Sidoarjo, and Pasuruan are the neighbors adjacent to Surabaya. Okay. So there's 42 companies, about 11 goes into trade and reparation, and about 10 goes into other sectors. 4 goes into chemical and pharmaceuticals. So again, Australians are already coming into the sector that I was promoting. Next. So in the primary sectors, about 2 projects go into fishery and mining, and 19 projects from Australia coming into food and beverage, chemical and pharmaceuticals, with the largest amount of investments actually going into tertiary sectors like construction, infrastructure, hotels, and that's exactly also what is very much in line with our economic development, is really the infrastructure support that is opening up. And we're talking about infrastructure that will be in synergy with what has already been built by Indonesia up to date. Next. So Affinity Health is investing in hospitals. DSI Underground is investing in machinery and constructions. IndoWorld is investing in food and beverage, and Impact Indonesia is investing in metal-related industries. Okay, next. So what are our priorities? The President has issued the Presidential Decree number 80/2019 that promotes 3 areas of development: infrastructure, economic, and human resources, with 3 main growth centers. The first is, once again, as we mentioned, the Surabaya megapolitan area, which we believe is still going to continue to be one of the Indonesia's and even Southeast Asia's main economic and industrial hub. So right now, this hub contributes half of our economy in East Java, while East Java contributes 15% of Indonesia's economy. So easy to say, this contributes about nearly 8% of Indonesia's economy. If we round it up, that will be around 10% of Indonesia's economy is from Surabaya metropolitan area. Today, the presentation that talks about that would be the Puspa Agro Food Processing. Is going to be one of the main agro warehousing and also value-added hub in Surabaya area. And the next is the Bromo Tengger Semeru, which is basically, and including the Ijen, the Blue Fire Theme Park, it will be, it has been designated as one of the 10 next new Bali in Indonesia. And the third is the Selingkar Wilis Southern Corridor. That is the area that will have an affirmative policy favoring them, because we want to also ensure that while the North Corridor is being developed, the Southern Corridor, which in fact is the neighbor to Australia, needs to also catch up. So we are putting in a lot of affirmative policies to promote and accelerate the development of infrastructure in this area, including a new airport, a new Southern Road Corridor, and a number of major economic center developments. Next. Okay, so this is the strategy. We can see there are corridors being developed, and these corridors, okay, including if we talk about Singhasari Special Economic Zone, we're going to connect two of the most advanced economic and knowledge hub in Indonesia, Surabaya and Malang. A lot of major universities in Indonesia are located between these two cities. We have connected them by toll road right now, and we're going to ensure that more new clusters will be developed along these corridors, including East Java's only special economic zone and Java's only digital economic zone, which is the Singhasari Special Economic Zone that has just been presented just now. Next. So what do? We ensure that we accelerate licensing processes, deregulate investments, ensuring that it's a one-stop shop. Even the event today was co-organized by the Investment Promotion Office of East Java. So it's all about putting on a red carpet for investors to come into East Java. Next. So what do? We provide integrated licensing services. So you don't need to go into different offices. You go into one point, and then we will then handle it from there. Accelerating land procurement, ensuring that land is no longer a massive roadblocks into investments, ensuring we have enough abundant energy and electricity supply. One thing to note is the fact that East Java is also one of the primary energy deposit in Indonesia. And of course, a very good labor climate. We do have labor demonstrations, but that's part of the annual process for laborers to gather together and fight for what they believe is right. But it has always been a very friendly event, because we know that we can always meet halfway. We know that while laborers actually protest to get what they want, but they know that businesses do care for them. And as a result, for the past 2 years, it has been, the outcome has been favorable for both investors and laborers alike. And we believe that one of the key
Sorry, Pak, we just lost your audio, I think.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, sorry, there was a bit of a technical issue. So once again, I would like to say that while we also believe that businesses need to have a very conducive labor climate, including wages issues and other issues. But the fact is, we try to help them, help laborers attain better life by providing better services. For example, since last year, we've exempted school fees for all the citizens who are studying in the national public schools. I repeat, sorry, in public schools, public operated schools. And we also subsidize all the high schools that are run by private foundations. So that will reduce the cost. We extended the services of major hospitals to 5 different sub-regions of East Java to ensure that they have better access to health and affordable access to health. So we believe, as a conclusion, that East Java is very, very committed into welcoming investors. We believe that one of the prerequisites for a good investment climate is not only government regulation, but also very credible domestic partners. And we have asked them to present them to you today with Kasa Husada, Puspa Agro, Singhasari Special Economic Zone, and the Ijen Blue Fire Theme Park. But that's just 4 out of the many investment opportunities that await. We believe that IIPC and the Indonesian embassy there would be a very great partner to start exploring more opportunities after we have this forum. With that, I conclude my closing remark. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pa Emil, for the wonderful presentation. Lovely slides, by the way. Loving it. And I have a few feedback. People actually love the presentation. If I can just ask you a few questions from some people that are already asking the question. If people or investor bought the land or built the businesses, how the policies or law by the Indonesian government? I guess the question is, what's the policy surrounding this buying of land? Sorry, I think you. Yep.
Sure. Okay. I think policies on land acquisition. I believe there are 2 aspects to it. First of all is the regulatory framework that is set by the national government and a very supportive local government, because these are the 2 prerequisites into having successful land acquisition or process. So the regulatory framework is clear, especially when we talk about infrastructure. There is law number 2/2012, but also that right now issues concerning land title. Foreign investors can come in, establish companies, and they can be issued with business license for ownership of land. They call it hak guna usaha, which can, and that is a very bankable land title that investors can rely upon in terms of acquisition of rights over the land. But also the fact is that we work very closely with the Agrarian Office, the land agency in East Java. I just met with the Vice Minister of the Land Agency as well, and the Spatial Planning. And they're committed to ensure that there is a certainty of law when it comes to investments and also when it comes to land title. So rest assured that our Investment Promotion Office will also serve as a interlocutor to help bridge with all the stakeholders when it concerns land acquisition.
Thanks for that. You discuss the issue of labor readiness. Can you hear me? Yep. So you discussed the issue of labor readiness. I'm just wondering if you can elaborate a little bit about the skill set that's required, because a lot of the things that the companies in Australia wants is a skilled labor market. Can you discuss more about the skilled labor in East Java?
Yes, certainly. I think we have to also give credit to the previous government, and we continue to pursue the same strategy but escalate the level of human resource readiness. So 60% of the schools, the high schools, are vocational schools with very specific practical skills ready to be applied in the workplace. We also have a very committed program in the Office of Labor, or the Labor Agency of East Java. We have training institutes that provide participants with ranging from 1 to 3 months of training. We've introduced intensive training program for 3 months that allow people to excel in terms of, for example, welding, CNC, which is basically that method of basically molding, a computerized molding system for creating spare parts. They also learn computing and even soft skills of actually working in factories, having the right work ethics, all of those well-rounded approach that we've been trying to do. And so every year, approximately 400,000 to 500,000 graduates go into the work market, the job market, and with very good recruitment rate as well. And so it ranges. Those who enter tourism, we have plenty of hospitality related graduates also. So we're talking about vocational school graduates, young, energetic, and of course, having knowledge readily to be applied, because the last year of the vocational school is dedicated towards internships.
Thank you, Pak Emil, so much for the presentation. We're definitely looking forward to have you in our future webinars. Now, to the audience, we're almost at the end of the webinar. There's only one segment left. But before I pass it on to the last speaker, I'd like to thank everyone. I'd like to thank IIPC for having me to moderate this panel. Thanks to all the panelists for your presentation on and answer to the discussion. And thanks again for the audience for your questions and the attention. Really looking forward to see you all again in future webinars.